Hey guys, Cav here, Rush Outdoors. Raining outside today, so doing a little work in the fur shed. Thought we'd talk a little bit about trap selection for targeted animals. We do a lot of coyote trapping. It's probably our main animal that we target. We do catch coon, bobcats, muskrat, beaver, otter, a few fox. But anyways, I want to talk about the trap selection for the targeted animal. We've got some traps out, not very many because it's just been a horrendous year so far. We left right at the end of November, went out Colorado, western Kansas, Nebraska lines right there. Tried to do some coyote trapping out there. Didn't have very good luck at all. We got out there, it snowed the first 2 days we was there. Temperatures at night was getting down in the mid-teens. The daytime it'd warm up a little bit, but the problem we was having was the snow was melting, and at night your traps would freeze up. We tried glycol to, counter that, but our mixture or something wasn't quite right. Our traps were still freezing up, and maybe it was just too cold for the glycol to work. I don't know. It's the first year we've tried using it, but no luck at all. So we pulled all the traps we had out there, realized that it wasn't panning out. So we had mule deer permits for muzzle loaders, and we decided to, hit the mule deer. So we both shot 2 really nice mule deer bucks, and we'll put a picture of them up a little later on. Didn't get any of them on film. Could have gotten one on film, but the one I shot, but I was having to do a little belly crawling and sneaking up to get to the edge of the field to get a shot at him, and just wasn't a situation where it was filmable to do it by yourself anyway. So but anyways, we've probably got about 150 coyote traps, and right now we've got probably about 20 of them out, which isn't good. If your traps are sitting in your fur shed, they ain't catching anything. So it's just been terrible. Like I said, we left at the end of November. Back home here, they got 4.5 inches of rain. When we got back, the ground, we was out there for about 10 days. When we got back, the ground was just getting to where you could get some traps in. Still a little wet, but it wasn't bad, finding some high ground and making some sets. So it started panning off for us. We started catching a few coyotes, coon and stuff. But then that following weekend, we got 2.5 more inches of rain. So ruined all our sets we had out. So we fought that. It cleared up. We had about, last maybe 2 weeks, week and a half, it wasn't bad out. The ground was fairly decent. Started catching quite a few coyotes. But now it started raining again. We pulled some traps just because they were in areas where our four-wheelers or vehicle couldn't get in to check them, and they were way back in, half a mile or so back in a section, and just didn't feel like walking it. So we pulled quite a few of them. We've got a few out right now. I'm going to drive by. They're kind of ones we can drive by the road and put a spot and scope on them and check them. But they're calling for 5 more inches of rain right now. Just 30 miles away, they was predicting 9.5, 10 inches of rain, and they're already trying to evacuate some towns because of the flooding. So this is what we've been dealing with. Definitely not ideal situation for trapping, but it is what it is. Hopefully it'll clear up. It's supposed to rain for 2.5 days here, and then switch over to freezing rain and snow. We'll just have to see what comes of it. I mean, we got plenty of dry dirt. This summer we went out and sifted dry dirt. We got 4 55-gallon drums of dry dirt, so we're ready to go if the weather just straighten up. Mainly got the dry dirt for freezing temperatures, so that we can bed our traps in good dirt, have dry dirt on it so the traps don't freeze up. That'll prevent you from using this glycol or antifreeze or anything like that, because we are not very experienced in using the glycol, obviously, because when we were out west we had a pretty hard time with it. We tried different mixtures of it, the way they told us to mix it, and it just didn't work. Our trap still froze up every night. So I don't know if anybody else has really good luck with it. Haven't talked to many people that use it. But we're not impressed with it, I'll tell you that. Like I said, maybe the temperatures got too cold for it. Maybe there's a limit there that the glycol isn't going to work. Don't know. So anyways, talk a little bit about trap selection here for the targeted animal. I'm not going to mention any brands of traps we use, just for the reason that we are not sponsored by any trap company. If the trap company, when they see these videos, would like to sponsor us, we'll put some contact information up. It's always good to have a trap company sponsor you. It eases the pain of having to come up with all the money to buy as many traps as you buy. But all of our coyote traps that we use are offset jaw traps. And if most of you out there knows what an offset jaw trap is, but some of you young trappers may not know, I'll just show you one here. An offset jaw trap does not close all the way, okay? What this does is it does not break the leg of the animal, which is a good thing. If you catch a coyote and you break his leg, he's got more of a chance of spinning and twisting and eventually tearing the skin and stuff and leaving his foot in your trap and getting out. So another thing, you can see I've got gloves on. These traps I'm going to show you have all been dipped and dyed and waxed already. They're ready to put out into the field. We just don't have them out yet, so I'm keeping my scent off of them. But all of our traps are also 4-coil. What that'll do is, when you do get those cold nights, if you do get a little bit of a crust over, these 4 coils will help the trap go off a lot better and faster. A lot of 2-coil traps, you'll notice sometimes you'll just catch the coyote by his toes. What we find is these 4-coil traps, they get their paw all the way in them. They're usually always caught up above the foot, and once you've got them there, they're there. They ain't getting out. So first trap I'm going to show you, like I said, 4-coil offset jaws. This trap is not night latched. It's just a regular pan. You set it, animal step on it, trap will go off. These here are, we're going to start using these. I got one area I've got coyote traps in that are night latched, and there's some fox in there that's giving me some problems, coming in, stealing my bait, messing up my set, not getting caught, stepping right on the pans, but they're not heavy enough to set that night latch pan off. So I'm going to take some of these in there once this weather straightens up and switch the traps out with these, and I'll get them then. The night latch traps are, they're the pound it takes to trip the trap. They're all a little different. you know, they're going to be around 3 pounds, somewhere right in there, give or take, you know, a little bit. But night latch trap, we have found that a fox, smaller cats, is not going to set that trap off. But your regular dog and pan, it takes very little pressure on that pan and that trap will go off. So I'm going to switch some of these traps out whenever the weather straightens up. So anyways, this is one trap we got. Getting more into the actual coyote traps. Now this is a number 2 trap, and we do catch coyotes in them, and it holds them perfectly fine. So if people think that you need to have this great big coyote trap to hold coyotes, you don't. This is a number 2, 4-coiled, offset jaws, base plated. This will hold, you know, any coyote you want to catch. So just showing you a different variation here. Next trap, once again, offset jaw, 4-coil. This trap here also is not night latched, just your regular dog and pan. We actually, when we bought these traps, they came 2-coiled, and we bought the 4-coil kit and 4-coiled them ourselves. So you can save a little bit of money that way, but not very much. For the time it takes, it don't take very long to put the 4-coil kit on, but you know, for what little bit of time you have and everything, and the money it costs for the 4-coil kits, it's probably just as feasible just to go ahead and buy your traps 4-coiled. So anyways, there's another one. Now this trap's already been used, but just thought I'd show it to you. Now this trap is night latched. The dog right here is a little notch in the dog. So when this trap is set and you come down to a certain point, you'll hear a click. And once you hear that click, it's set in the proper position. It's night latched. Now this is one of those traps. It's going to take around 3 pounds of pressure for that trap to go off. But this is a very, very good coyote trap. The next 2 traps I'm going to show you, we catch, you know, probably 90% of all of our coyotes in these traps. I did catch a big bobcat the other day in this trap. It's just because the cat was big enough, he put enough pressure on it to set it off. A lot of your smaller cats, you'll see their footprints all around, even on the pan of the trap and everything. The trap just don't go off. They just ain't heavy enough to have the poundage per square inch to set that trap off. Once again, base plated, 4-coiled, offset jaw. A little bit bigger trap, same thing. This one's fully modified. A little bit different latching system here, but it is night latched. Still takes the same amount of pressure to set this trap off. Offset jaws, very good trap, heavy duty trap. This trap will last you a lifetime.